All right, guys, welcome back to Cameshiareviews, the queen of reality TV. Now, I do not want to pronounce this king's name wrong because everyone says my name incorrectly every day of my life. So please tell me how to say your name correctly before I say it wrong.
My name is Sacaiah.
Sacaiah. Ooh, his name just it sounds. I've never heard a name like that. Like the comedian people say that wrong too. So trust and believe. Welcome, Sacaiah, to my show. You are on Family Business now. The New Orleans just came out, obviously, and it's popping. Like I'm from Louisiana, so for me, I have a connection to it. It's a compelling story. I like the family dynamic of it because I think it really reflects the challenges that real families actually go through because it's not going to be always roses and everything. It shows the real, even the conniving stuff that happens in real life. Okay. So I
Right.
wanted to know, can you share your journey of how you got casted in Family Business in the first place?
In the main show.
Yes.
Okay. So originally, because my father he got put on the show about a season before me, so about a year and a half before I did.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and obviously he had a really good season.
Right.
I didn't have anything to do with the show at that point, but I watched
Mm-hmm.
it, and I became a big fan of it. I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it a lot, and there became a point where they started talking about casting him some children, casting him some kids,
Right.
and we obviously already had Big Ben. We already had Ben on the show, but Ben needed a brother,
Mm-hmm.
and the casting call went out. He got me the opportunity to do a screen test for Kenny,
Mm-hmm.
and I did well in the screen test portion of it. It was like a storyline that didn't end up happening in the show, but it was just like a quick few scenes,
Right.
and off of that, then Carl wrote Kenny's character as pertaining to me into the show, and that's kind of how that started.
Okay. Wow. Okay, that's interesting. Since you are working alongside your father, what has that experience been like for you?
It's been awesome. I
Mm.
mean, me personally, as far as my acting career before this show, before the Family Business, I've been working with my father anyway. I mean, I run all my lines with him.
Period.
Whenever I'm doing an audition, I'll run it with him back and
Mhm.
forth, up and down, sideways, 7 times till Sunday until I get it down. He'll
Hey,
give
let's
me all his
go.
pointers, so I'm already used to working with him. But it was a lot different. Actually getting to be
Mm,
on the set with him and be in the
right.
show and go over the lines that we're actually doing together in person, and it was a really fun experience. It was really
Mm.
cool, and
Oh, I love it.
it was a huge learning experience for me just to be able to see him in his element and doing
Oh,
what he
wow.
does.
Yes, I think about that. Your character is on a mission to settle a vendetta against LC. I want you to talk a little because that's really what they say about your character, but I know there's more to it than that. So, in your opinion, I know you put your own spin on it. I think every actor puts their own spin on the character. So, can you give me your thoughts on the character besides just him coming crazy over LC for his dad right now?
So yeah, Kenny's got his whole thing against LC, but it's not. I don't necessarily see it as like a just like straight hate of LC, because it's
Okay.
like, because honestly, like even in the short scene that that I had with Ernie, there's no like, hey, what's up, dynamic.
Right. Right.
Like he doesn't know LC. You know what I mean?
Mm,
LC's like an idea.
okay, that
You know
makes
what I
sense.
mean? LC's just like the reason that I don't have everything that I should have had growing up and now. So
Mm,
LC's not even really a person to him. LC's just an
right.
idea is that has necessarily done him wrong. So
Right.
because he
Okay.
doesn't know LC as a person, he doesn't
That
have a
makes sense.
relationship with LC. So I don't necessarily think it's a hate of LC. It's a hate of what LC stands for in his mind.
Mm. How did
And
you? I was gonna say, how did you approach playing that role with all that complication involved with that?
when I very I actually made like I had like a little book of sticky notes when I first started playing Kenny, and it was called the
Okay.
Book of Kenny that I wrote down.
Another beginning. Okay.
Yeah, and the first rule is whenever my immediate reaction is to reading a line, I try to steer as far away from that as
Mm,
possible in my choice when we're actually filming it. So I try to keep
okay.
try to keep Kenny and Sacaiah very far apart.
You're surrounded by a lot of seasoned actors. You brought up Ernie. How was that influencing your craft and experience on the show?
In an amazing way. You just
Mm,
get to. I was just a sponge. Like you can ask anybody. I'm funny. Like and I talk, but like I don't really like. You can ask anybody. I'm very quiet on set. Like I talk a little bit, but I listen a lot. I try to learn as much as I can. I pay attention. I try to take little gems here and there. I'm just a
right.
sponge.
Wow.
But it's great.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to talk about the family been in New Orleans. That's an exciting extension. You made an appearance on the show. What can you tell me about the experience? Like I told you, I'm from Louisiana, so I'm excited about the spinoff. What was it filming for you? New cast especially.
hmm No, it was cool. I actually met Brandon when I was a kid.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
what?
we were at Cheesecake Factory. He was having dinner with his son, and I was like maybe 10 or 11
hmm
years old,
hmm
and I loved him from the Percy Jackson movies. So we talked a
Wow,
little
that's
bit then.
crazy.
I was with
Hmm.
my dad. That was years
I
ago. That
love
was
that
like
movie too, by the way. Yes.
yeah, that was maybe 10, 11 years ago, and I ran into him again on
Wow,
set, and that was cool seeing him again.
that is
Um,
crazy. Okay.
same with Pooch. Pooch has worked with my dad a couple times, and
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
love a lot of the work that he's done. So it was really
Right.
cool getting to work with him as well. Um, Still haven't run into YMB yet, but we're working
Right.
on that.
Got you.
but
Period. Period.
it's such a great time. It's like a reunion.
Yeah.
Get to come back with all the homies. Everybody's back at work again. It's a good time.
I mean, the show's called Family Business, but is it like family in real life outside of the filming?
Oh yeah, no, it's great.
You
It's
can
it's
tell. You can tell.
yeah, it's honestly all just great. Like you get back in there and it's like riding a bike, you just fall right back into
Period.
hanging out, having dinner, like just, after party is great.
I do want to switch gears real quick, and because I also cover comedy on my other platform, and I've noticed that you have
Okay.
a natural comedian side. I saw you doing stand up. I said, "Oh, wait a minute, hold up!" But he's naturally funny. Like the drunk sign just had me, but
Thank you.
because I'm like, bro, if I pass a sign, it's gonna be like it's way too late. So I just, what came first for you, comedy or acting?
Acting.
Oh, really? What made
Yeah.
you decide to get into comedy? Was it something you just naturally did? Is something that someone talk you into it? Most time I hear
Um
this story.
it's kind of complicated. It come from a couple of different places. So like I
Okay.
started acting that was because of my dad when I was
Okay.
about 11,
Okay.
and I started doing theater, community theater, school
Oh, beautiful.
plays and musicals and
Hmm.
things like that.
Hmm.
And that's on the one side. On the other side, I watched comedy like I consumed comedy like water when I was a kid. Like
Mm,
Eddie, Kevin,
right.
Cat,
Yep.
Chappelle. I watched everything, like everything, and I just loved it. It was just fun for me, like to
Hmm.
enjoy comedy and watch how people thought I liked that. And then from that, I sort of gained comedic timing,
Mm,
and I brought that over to my acting. So then I, started
mm,
taking on some more comedic roles, and I did some funnier, short
right.
films and things like
Hmm.
that.
Hmm.
And I ended up with a couple, funny stuff in there, and I had comedic timing.
You do.
And then, thank you. And then, like I said, I never stopped being a fan of comedy, and I wasn't even into it. I've only been doing it for about 2 years. Um,
Really? Okay.
yeah, yeah, and I wasn't
First,
even into it when we first started filming Family
uh-huh.
Business. Again, I was still just,
Yeah.
using my comedic timing in my
Right.
acting.
Right. Right.
But there was one day, I don't know if you know the show Kill Tony, or if you're familiar.
Hmm. Hmm.
I was watching an episode of Kill Tony, and it
Hmm.
was just bucket pull after bucket pull, and they all did really bad that day. And I was like,
Yes.
if I went up that day, I could have done better than all of them. So then that
Right.
day, I just looked up a comedy club. It's called Third Wheel, and I went down there, started, bombed, did terrible, and it's a grind.
It is a
You get
grind.
better at it every day, but I
Mhm,
love it.
mhm. So, speaking of the comedy beef, and I'll say comedian beef for 2025, 2024, all the things. There's right now, for example, I'll give you one. Corey Holcomb is a really funny comedian,
Yeah.
but very controversial. He's even spoken out recently that Tiffany Haddish, another comedian, I think Christina Payne or something's calling him out. There's even some kind of trial going on in March. This is crazy for comedians to me. I feel like I'm pretty sure it's been going on this entire time. We just didn't hear about it. What are your thoughts about that? Even being 2 years in, you're probably seeing things in the comedian world that I don't get privy to. So, what are your thoughts about with humor and beef. What do you think about it?
I can't speak to the Tiffany Haddish and Corey Holcomb thing because I don't know
Mhm.
much about
Right.
that at all. So I'm not
Mhm.
going to speak on that. Just because I run into these people. But
Well,
I don't listen.
it's
I
really
don't
not. I'm
listen to
not.
that.
I
But
don't want you to speak on
um,
that in particular. I mean, just
well,
the. I was giving you an example of just beefs and comedy, not just to speak on that topic.
well, it is relationships. I mean, you're working there. There's certain politics when it comes to just the social aspect of it. You can hurt
Right.
somebody's feelings, and the business is words, and words hurt sometimes. So
Hmm.
that can
Hmm.
happen. That's always a danger. One thing I do like to say and reiterate though is that as a comedian, as an advocate of funny, funny comes first.
Okay.
However,
Okay. Okay.
something that you say needs to be received in good spirits
Mm,
by at least the majority to
okay.
be funny. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like it
Right.
has to
I
be
do.
more funny than it is hurtful or messed
Oh,
up,
I
or
get that.
you know what
I
I
get
mean?
that. No,
So
no, no. I love how you said that.
that's kind of where I try to leave it. Like
Mm,
obviously, like we're working with words. You're trying to be shocked. The
yes,
shock value is always a thing. You're always
it is.
trying to hit somebody with a twist they didn't expect.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
a good button to push is race
Yes.
or sexuality or gender or what
Mm-hmm.
have you.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying all that's fine and well and good as long as it is common knowledge that your joke is more funny than it is messed up or hurtful, and
Mm-hmm.
that everybody's laughing together. Like when I make
Yeah.
fun of people, the people I'm making fun of are usually laughing the hardest, and
Right.
that's how I try to keep it. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
I see what you're saying, and that way you avoid those situations.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm not trying to break you down. I'm trying to make us all have a good time and
Right.
come
There you
together. I'm not
go.
trying to use your shortcomings or your faults to make you feel bad because we all have those.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I use mine to make you laugh. Sometimes I'll use yours to make you laugh. If you
Right.
open up to me, let's don't give
Right.
me your information if you don't
100%.
want to use. You know what I mean? But
Right.
yeah.
My friend's a comedian, but last night I told him some stuff I'm not even gonna say on the stage. Yeah, I got you. I got you. No, I mean, it's not even like I said. It's even just as people stealing jokes. It's been a lot of dark in the comedian. That's why I was kind of going with that, where it's like even people stealing jokes, people get upset about that. Again, it's been going on probably for a long time before you even came to the comedy scene. But
Yeah.
I just wanted to get your take, being a new comedy. That I mean, you pretty much answered that as well. It's just kind of getting a little dark. And like I said, it may have well been like that. I don't know. But I like your take on it. Just be funny. Just make everybody laugh, period, and be positive about it. So I love that. Love that. Man, I'm happy I got to have you on here. I'm unfortunate I gotta roll out of here because I got another engagement coming up here in a minute. But I enjoy talking to you. You are a very astute individual, very, very smart.
Thank you. I
You're
appreciate
good
it.
at your craft as far as being an actor and doing the comedian thing. Like I watched a few of your videos. You're just good. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you're gonna bring to the show. You have your own thing aside of your father, but I love how you respect your father and praise them at the same time. It's wonderful. I miss my dad so much. I love to see a father and son love, period. So anyway, I thank you for
Thank
your
you so
time,
much.
sir.
I appreciate you. Thank you for your time. So
All right,
yeah,
yeah.
we're
Yeah,
going to
go ahead.
film Family Business season 2 this summer. So
Yes, yes, and I'll be watching it. I love the show. So period. I better make sure I check it out because Ernie is like, ooh, I love me some Ernie. Look at your mama. Look who play your mama. Let me tell you something. I almost forgot about that. Like, I'm so serious. You have like she's like everything. Like, I don't even remember. I not remember it and everything else from the other stuff she did in Good Times, whatever. But when I look at her, she's a seasoned actor. I don't even look at that. I look at her as your mom, and your dad's all that stuff. I love it.
yeah.
I want to see more of y'all dynamic, the family dynamic, y'all three, because I just feel like there's so much. The way they love each other, the way you love just so much. I want to see more of that. I really hope we're gonna see that unfold because I really want to see your dad. Your dad about to do something, and you are too. So,
Yeah, I am excited.
no, so I feel it. I feel it. All
I
right,
am
baby. That
excited to
being
get
said,
some more stuff with Bernadette. But thank you so much.